This is Edward. He's a 25 years old student. And this is Brian. He works in an IT company. They are two friends who are going to Stockholm together. And this is where their tale begins. Edward and Brian arrive at the airport. When they get out, they turn on their MMM-enabled phones. Edward's mobile phone recognizes that they are at Stockholm Airport, so the MMM client updates their location. Let's see what happens in the MMM system. The update private chains functionality in the private cloud subsystem is shown. The system already knows that Edward and Brian is going to the hotel. So there exists a chain of tags called going to hotel. Their location chain is updated, so the tags in the chain is set to located at Stockholm Airport. This causes a match in the system, as there exists a taxi services chain called transportation nearby Stockholm. Edwards now receives a notification from the taxi service and he decides to take a taxi. The taxi service tells Edward that the taxi will arrive in 5 minutes and tells him to go to the taxi pickup area. Edward put on his glasses and is shown the direction to the nearest taxi with visual reality. The taxi arrives. They jump in and drive to the hotel. They just arrived to the city. They are almost at the hotel. While they are driving, Edward receives the digital hotel key. Edward and Brian arrives at the hotel. They walk past the reception because the MMM hotel service already has provided them with the key for the room. Edward uses his mobile device to open the door for their room. Edward and Brian unpack their luggages. While they unpack, Brian gets a notification from the MMM system. The system has noticed through a sensor that he is hungry. The MMM system suggests that he can find a restaurant in the area. He chooses to find a restaurant and a list of restaurants is shown. He picks one of them and a map with the navigation is shown. Then they decide to walk to the restaurant. Edward and Brian, they've just sit at the table. They are quite hungry and they start to order a lot of food. While Edward and Brian are talking and eating, the girls come in. Edward's phone receives a notification telling Edward that a girl named Mary is looking to meet new people. Edward accepts and she joins their table. They talk about their interests and they enjoy the food. But suddenly Edward starts to feel ill. The sensor notifies the MMM system of this. Elsewhere in the restaurant, a doctor, not on call, gets notified and goes to check on Ed. Likely it was only a minor food poisoning, and he will be alright before you know it. That is the end.